Alright, picture this. We're not in Madrid. The setting is Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for a Spanish Supercopa semifinal. And it's not just any game, it's a derby. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. You've got the desert heat, an insane rivalry, and massive stakes. I mean, everything was on the line here.
And that was the big question, right? This was about so much more than just bragging rights in the city. The winner gets a shot at the trophy against, you guessed it, their biggest rival, Barcelona. The pressure was just off the charts.
You know, in a huge game like this, you'd probably expect both teams to feel each other out, right? A slow, careful, maybe even a little boring start. Well, that's not what happened. Not even close.
Just 2 minutes. Seriously, that's all it took. Before anyone had even had a chance to get comfortable, the entire game was flipped on its head.
It was just pure magic from Federico Valverde. We're not talking about a simple goal here. This was an absolute thunderbolt. Can you imagine the power and the curl on that from 30 yards out? The sound of it hitting the back of the net. Wow, the stadium just lost its mind.
And boom, just like that, Real Madrid are in the lead. For them, it's a dream start. For Atletico, it's an absolute nightmare. You could almost feel the hope get sucked out of their side of the stadium. But come on, if you thought for a second that Atletico was just going to roll over and quit, you don't know this team. That early goal, it didn't break them, it just made them angry. And what came next was a full-on siege. They threw literally everything they had at Real Madrid's goal. It was just wave after wave of red and white shirts. But every single time, they ran into a giant Belgian wall named Thibaut Courtois.
And this is where the heartbreak really begins for Atletico. First, Baena lets fly with a rocket, Courtois pushes it away. Then, Sørloth gets up for a powerful header, only to be denied by an even better save. Unbelievable. You can just feel the agony as he gets another chance a bit later, and puts it over the bar. And to top it all off, Julian Alvarez gets denied too. It was just relentless, but they had nothing to show for it.
Okay, so we get into the second half. Real Madrid somehow weathered that storm, and you're thinking, all right, the next goal is going to decide this. And then in the blink of an eye, the game just completely explodes all over again.
About 10 minutes after the break, it really looked like the game was done. And again, it wasn't some complex team play. Nope, it was another moment of just jaw-dropping solo skill, this time from Rodrygo.
So check this out, 55th minute, Rodrygo just decides to do it himself. He weaves through the defense like they're standing still and just coolly tucks it away. 2-0. Game, set, match, right? Wrong, because just 3 minutes later, Atletico storms right back. And who is it? Of course it's Sørloth. After all that earlier frustration, he finally smashes a header into the net. Suddenly, it's 2-1 and we have a real game on our hand.
And that one goal set up the most chaotic, nerve-wracking final 30 minutes you can possibly imagine. Atletico was throwing everyone forward. Real Madrid was just hanging on for dear life. It was just frantic, end-to-end chaos.
And the chances, oh my word, they just kept coming. You've got Griezmann trying this spectacular overhead kick. Somehow it's saved. Then Marcos Llorente cuts inside, whips a shot that goes agonizingly wide of the post. You could hear the collective groan. And then, deep into stoppage time, Julian Alvarez gets one last chance, flashing a shot right across the face of goal. So close. So when you boil it all down, this is really the story of the match, isn't it? Real Madrid had these two spectacular moments of individual genius, and they took them. They were ruthless. Atletico, on the other hand, created chance after chance after chance, and they're left with a heartbreaking story of what if. And that was it. The final whistle goes at the King Abdullah Sports City. The scoreboard tells the only story that matters in the end. Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 1. They just held on. Through sheer grit, some brilliant goalkeeping, and those two little sparks of magic, Real Madrid survived the siege and punched their ticket to the final. And this all leaves us with one massive, tantalizing question. The stage is set for a Clásico final. But get this, Barcelona cruised to the final with a dominant win. Real Madrid, they just survived an absolute war. So can Real Madrid's knack for creating magic out of thin air be enough to overcome a Barcelona team that looks, well, kind of unstoppable? That is going to be something to see.